Shalom, my name is Elder Gabar, and with me I have
Elder Ayathan.
And I want to say a few words on behalf of elders of GMS. It's on behalf of the lesson Elder Tahar did yesterday, and the name of that lesson is The Simple Believeth Every Word, Debunking False Doctrines. Now it's based upon a talk that Nate Satan did entitled Conspiracy Brothers Warning. Now when you watch that video that Nate Satan did, he's trying to say that if you believe in conspiracies in general, that you're a nut. And you know who he's focusing on, us. He made a statement, he said, generally you will find I'm not a conspiracy theorist. And he said, generally a conspiracy theorist is a nut job. Alright? Now you have conspiracy theory and you have conspiracy fact. Now the fact is that there are certain conspiracies that turn out to be true. Alright? A good example is the mafia. Alright? As a matter of fact, you have a little information if you want to read that.
Yeah, this is it's on InfoWars, and the title of this is 33 Conspiracy Theories That Turned Out to Be True, What Every Person Should Know. Mm-hmm. There's a whole list here. Number 2 is the mafia.
The mafia. Alright, go on.
It says this secret crime society was virtually unknown until the 1960s, when member Joe Valachi first revealed the society's secret to law enforcement officials.
Right, and there was even a movie entitled The Valachi Papers, and it starred Charles Bronson, alright, showing you that the secret society of the mafia is true. Alright, up until then, before the 1960s, it would have been deemed a conspiracy theory. Oh, you believe there's really a mafia? But then after Joe Valachi blew it wide open, the average person knows that there's truly exists a mafia, a group which came from Sicily. The origins goes back to Sicily. It was known as Il Mano Negro, the Black Hand. Alright? Going back to Sicily, that became known as the mafia. Alright? Go on, brother.
It says what was known was that organized crime existed, but not that the extent of their control included working with the CIA, politicians, and the biggest businesses in the world.
And that's what you find out. You find out that truly the mafia's power really came from the international bankers. They're the real mafia, right? As a matter of fact, in Hollywood they portray the so-called Italians as being the vicious killers of the mafia, which some of them were, but the real vicious killers were the so-called Jews. Guys like Meyer Lansky and Louis Lepke, Buchalter, I believe his name was. Alright, they were part of the so-called Jewish mafia, which was more ruthless than the so-called Italian mafia. Okay, so that conspiracy has been blown wide open. So it's a conspiracy fact. Alright, now,
and if I could say, the word conspiracy comes from the root word, what? Conspire.
And that's where we were going to go. We were going to go to that. No, that's okay. That's the spirit. We have to define it, because obviously Nate, Hollywood Nate, does not know the meaning of the word conspiracy. He hears the word conspiracy, and his mind just goes in a frenzy. Oh, this guy's a nut. He believes in the conspiracy.
That's why I call him Hollywood Nate, because in Hollywood, they have the buzzwords.
Right.
Or conspiracy. Anybody that says the word conspiracy, they're crazy.
They're a nut job.
They're a nut job.
All right. Well, as Elder Ifan mentioned, let's go into the word conspiracy.
So this is conspiracy comes from the root word from the Latin conspirare. Am I saying that correctly?
Conspirare, yes.
Conspirare, which means to agree, unite, or plot. Literally to breathe together.
Yeah, literally to breathe together, because the word con means with. Even in Spanish, like arroz con pollo, that's rice with chicken. So the word con means with, and conspiracy or spire means to breathe. So breathe together. What that means is any two people, it takes two people to bring a conspiracy together. All right? Two or more, or a plot. All right? It starts with two and then it could go to any infinite number. All right? To produce a conspiracy. Okay? That's it on that, right? All right. Now, let's read a quote from, I'm going to show you conspiracies of the world, and I'm going to show you conspiracies even in the Bible. So, Nate, if you don't believe, you say, you know, you're sitting in that chair, you're posing like you're the king of Siam, you know, like you're the big head honcho, and you say, you make a statement, you say, anybody who believes in conspiracy is a nut job. Well, there's conspiracies in the Bible, so that means you don't believe in the Bible, because the Bible speaks about conspiracies. Now, before we go into the Bible and deal with conspiracy, let's deal with conspiracy on the outside world. Now, here's a quote from David Rockefeller. You know, the guy who wants to chip you, you know, pursuant to what Nick Rockefeller told Aaron Russo. All right? Here's a quote from David Rockefeller, and let's see if that doesn't tie into the word conspiracy. You got it, bro.
So this is, he says here, quote, some even believe we are part of a secret cabal working against the best interests of the United States, characterizing my family and me as internationalists and of conspiring with others around the world to build a more integrated global political and economic structure. One world, if you will. If that's the charge, I stand guilty, and I am proud of it. David Rockefeller.
Well, there you go. So David Rockefeller aspires to what? A conspiracy. Now, will you say that that's a conspiracy theory, Nate? As a matter of fact, go back to Nate's production. Now, whoever produced that lesson, that so-called lesson, I'm using the word lightly, whoever produced that is a fucking moron, all right? Because they got pictures that, like one of the pictures I'm looking at is the Bilderberg, and they got all these different symbols, which is all part of the global conspiracy that you just heard David Rockefeller admitted to. But whoever put this video together is trying to show that whoever believes in this stuff is a nut. Right? Whoever produced this video. The name of the video is called Conspiracy Brothers Warning.
Well, that just proves what Nate is not. That just proves he's not a prophet, because the scripture saying in Amos 3 and 7, the Lord revealeth His secrets unto His servants the prophets.
One of His secrets is that there are conspiracies on the outside world. Yeah. All right. So let's move into the Bible now. Let's talk about the Bible. Let's show that even in the Bible there was a conspiracy. Now, the first scripture we're going to go to is the book of Luke, the 22nd chapter. The 1st to the 6th verse.
This is Luke chapter 22, verse 1. Now the feast of unleavened bread drew nigh, which is called the Passover. And the chief priests and scribes sought how they might kill him, for they feared.
Is the Hawashah. All right, go on.
For they feared the people. Then entered Satan into Judas, surnamed Iscariot.
Well, wait a minute. Read that again. I'm sorry. Read that again.
It says, then entered Satan into Judas.
I'm
sorry. Verse 2. And the chief priests and scribes sought how they might kill him.
That's a conspiracy. It was the chief priests and scribes. The very definition of the word conspiracy is two or more people. So they conspired to kill Yahushua. That was the conspiracy. Go ahead.
For they feared the people.
Go on.
Then entered Satan into Judas, surnamed Iscariot, being of the number of the 12. And Judas was part of that conspiracy. He was part of the 12, but he was also part of that conspiracy, as we'll find out. Go on. And he went his way and communed with the chief priests and captains how they might betray him unto them.
And commune with the chief priests and captains how he might betray him. A conspiracy. All right, go on.
And they were.
What verse is that?
I just read verse 4. I'm on 5 now.
You're going to read the 6, yeah.
Verse 5. And they were glad and covenanted to give him money.